accomplish anything, even through struggle and misfortune. Faith can turn a peasant to a king. In a world full of grief, it's a blessing just to breathe. No need for stressing, knuckle up and be a G. For some to stand alone can cause depression. Only the strong will survive in this recession. Caught on possessions, you can lose in a second. Can teach you a valuable lesson. Never neglect your hustle. Respect the game and get your paper in bundles. If not, you in trouble. Power is earned, not given, but sometimes you gotta take your position. Some fake it just to make it, but we ain't faking, my nigga. We take care of business. St. Louis is much too small of a city. The world is up for the taking, and we won't stop till we get it. So first you get the money, and then come the bitch.
First you get the money, and then you get the power. Mix it all together. Now the whole world is ours. First you get the money, and then you get the power. Mix it all together. Put it together. Now the whole world is ours. I say the whole world is ours. First you get the money, then you get the power. When you mix it together, the world, Chico, and everything in it. The money. Then you get the power. When you put it together, the world, Chico,
What's up? What's up? This your girl, Miss Kiwi, and we are live in the building. One more again, I just gotta say thank you to the man up above. I am here with my co-host, Fast Lane 747.
What up?
And also, you already know, out of the ATL, my other co-host, Mrs. Mink, is in the building, baby.
Yes, good evening. Yes.
So y'all tune in, call in 515-599-1687. We have a very interesting topic tonight, and it is about feminine or not. Call in, talk to us. We'll talk back.
Yes. So, this is you might as well just go ahead and, make all the jokes that you can, because, this is a topic that nobody wants to talk about and nobody likes to talk about it. First and foremost, I just want to share that, our vision with Why Not Say It is to reach everyone, give everyone that platform to be able to speak their mind, speak their piece, share your opinion. And just remember, it is your opinion and it's not to offend anyone, but we want our youth to really build that gap and that connection with our seasoned generation. Get back to talking to those that have a little more knowledge and a little more tenure. And you will be surprised because you may teach them something too. But tonight's topic, it's going to be a hot one.
So, as we said, we are speaking on feminine or not. What happened to all of our women? Why are we so hard? Why are we so, just agitated and aggravated? Now, don't get me wrong. I know we all go through some things. We do. We all go through some things. But I just feel as a woman, we should not allow it to take us to the point where we're no longer soft. We no longer compassionate. We no longer want to be a nourisher. You know what I'm saying? We just become so hardcore and so independent. And it's nothing wrong with being independent, but don't be so independent to where you fix your mouth to say things that you might regret. Like, I don't need a man. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that right there. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that, we play a lot and we joke a lot when it comes to saying we don't. Well, some of us anyway. I don't need a man because I got my toy or whatever the case may be. But, that ain't gonna give you the same thing, honestly, that man can.
It sure don't. It don't. It won't. It will never, because you will never get a feeling. I don't care how much they make it as real as real. It'll never be real, because on the inside of that real feel is still plastic. So that's why I say, and don't get it twisted, because I was one of them women to be like, man, listen, I do me. I take care of me, and I don't have to deal with no man. But, hey, I had to eat those words. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. That is a lie from the pits of hell. I need a man. And I'm not saying it like I need a man, that I'm desperate. But I'm just saying, when I decide, to date again, but yeah, I need a man in my life. Because there are a lot of things as a woman that I feel that, takes a role from a man. And I need that, because they're washing the cars and, oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying,
Let me ask you this. What do you think has got us to this point?
Well, I can speak for myself. For me, being young, trying to grow up fast, not really learning the in-betweens, and just jumping right out there sometimes, and being hurt. So all of that, just, holding it in, bottling up, it kind of do. Sometimes we be saying, yeah, these men always talking about we angry and bitter, and, yeah, we do come off bitter and angry a lot of times, and it comes from hurt and things we have been through with men, but that also comes from not understanding what we were going through at that time, and feelings are something that you really have to become in tune with, because if not, then like I said, you just out there, you just living, and until reality really hits you, then,
What about you? What do you think about that, Fast Lane? What do you feel has brought women to this point of losing their femininity, I'll say?
Well, we play a major part as men. As me being the man that I am, I know as men we done played a lot of games. You know what I mean? We have stepped down from our position. I mean, like, certain parts of that was part of a plan, but as a man, we got to be accountable for our own actions. And, I understand women been ran over a lot of different ways, you know what I mean? But I'm also a man that has feelings too. So, like, one thing I've learned, I can't treat everybody the same. You know what I mean? And I can't carry that baggage with me where she might have played a game or I might have played a game. And in order to do better, we got to do better. So we got to learn to let it go. And some games we have played as men is hard to let go of. You women have been hurt. You know what I mean? It's, when you get scarred, it ain't easy to wash away, you know what I mean? And then you take it into your next relationship and you look at them people in that same way and you get to a point where you get tired, you know what I mean? Well, as a man, we get tired too, though, you know what I mean? There's been a lot of games played on us too, y'all women are pretty smooth. Y'all way more smooth. Y'all take away from y'all credit more than y'all do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of games been played on men too, you know what I mean? Yeah. But as the man that I am, we're accountable for a lot of things that's got us to this point. Even in the households, you know what I mean? Like, we've been knocked out of our position, and that don't mean that we don't pose a step back up into that position, because as a man, can't nobody tell me where I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand as a man regardless of what somebody else think about me. But it's part of a program that's been put in front of us too, you know what I mean? We've been divided, you know what I mean? And that's on both sides, you know what I mean? They made man not respect a woman, and women don't respect a man at this point, you know what I mean? And a lot of roles been shifted because people are confused about their roles, you know what I mean? Some of these people been detached from the real ways, the true teachings, you know what I mean, that our elders was passing down as far as a man standing firm and holding the house down, you know what I mean? And that woman playing that position too, pushing him to stay on point and keeping him going, you know? So we both play a part of it, because where you slacking at, that's what he missing, you know what I'm saying? And where he's slacking at, that's what she's missing, you know what I mean? So we both play a major part.
Well, do you all think of, what about this 50-50 rule? Because like Fastlane just alluded to, that man, where that man may be slacking, the woman pick it up, and where the woman may be slacking, the man pick it up. But, I think a lot of the way that women may feel, the reason why it is that they have stepped into the roles that they have. And, a lot of women have been playing the so-called male role because of the male not being in the household or, not being around or being there.
And that's true. But as far as that 50-50, I don't know. I was always raised that 50 is only half of it. And I don't want a half of nothing. I need that whole 100. Because if I'm going to bring that whole 100, I need that whole 100. Because when you coming with only half, that means I'm only getting half of you. I'm only getting half of what you got. And 9 times out of 10, for me, a lot of stuff that you bring to the table, I don't even eat it no way. So, therefore, I don't want that half. I just need you to go on and go to that 100 mark. And when we get to that 100 mark, that means that we on that same page. We not unequally yoked. Because a lot of times we be unequally yoked, and that be half of our battle.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that scale gonna steady do like this. So, I mean, I just always been taught that 100. I don't know much about that 50.
So do you feel that plays a big role in why it is that women feel now that they have to fill the shoes of a man?
I think society play a major role of that because, like, a lot of women have been taught in order to be strong, you gotta be stronger than a man. Well, me myself, I done witnessed some strong women. You feel me? Where, like. God gave y'all women something special, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could do certain things we can't do. You know what I mean? And a man could do certain things women can't do, even though we all say, oh, we could do anything. And that's where it done got twisted at too, trying to do anything. Certain things ain't for you to do. That's just like a man trying to do things that a woman do. Well, if that's your choice, but you're not standing as a man now. You're standing trying to be a woman. So we got to know the difference, you know what I'm saying? And that's just as well as a woman. Just because you're strong don't mean you're not a woman. Exactly. Or just because you're feminine don't mean that you're not strong. You know what I mean? So we got to realize, like, some of the greatest queens was very powerful. They was very powerful. And in order to sit next to that great king, she had to be just as strong as he was because she was his strength when he was weak. You know what I mean? When he couldn't take no more, when the world was on his shoulders and he come home, she supposed to be that peace. You know what I mean? And then that would help him function better in the house. So it plays a part. When we step down from our positions, that's when everything got twisted. You know what I mean? Because, like, before I could go be anybody else, I got to be the best at myself, and I really can't be nobody else. So I only could be better at being me. You know what I mean? I could never step down and try to be like my mama. I could respect her. I could respect her moral values she always taught me, and I respect her as the woman, like the example she set in front of me. You know what I mean? Because, like, the women I was raised up under, which was the same women y'all was raised up under, it wasn't nothing weak about them. You know what I'm saying? And it don't take nothing from the strong men I was raised around because I was raised among some great men, some gladiators to be exact. You know what I mean? And it always goes back to they was playing their position. They wasn't trying to be like grandma. They just did what they needed to do to be that man in grandma's life. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't have that man, she still knew she could call on us or whoever she called on, and she still was just as strong. You know what I mean? So we got to get back to just being who we supposed to be, and that's who God made us. You know what I mean? Man or woman.
But, in today's society now, sad as it is, and today's society, women have to play more of that male role because that male is not a part of their life.
Well, can I interject on that? Mm-hmm. I just feel like at that point, that's really a choice because it's not that the male don't have to be there. We just have to start choosing we have to start making better choices of men who we choose to lay with and then to take it even further, even to have children with.
Right. Know who you.
Well,
The reason I say that,
resources out there now.
I mean, still, but
and that's what that is, a lot of resources. So that answer that question on why we where we at now, because some resources really wasn't supposed to be options. We did certain things we didn't supposed to have options. You know what I'm saying? And like by them having them substitutes, we think we don't need certain things when really that's why the universe is off course right now. You know what I mean? Just like you said, a lot of women are running the households. And it runs deep though, because it was a time where when the man was head of the house, they came up with a plan how to knock him from being the head. See, because they said once you chop the head off, now you could control the body. And who got the body? The body of the house. You know what I mean? They could control the body by making it where we gonna delete that man. And we gonna show y'all just as strong without him. You see what I'm saying? And as they're showing y'all that y'all just as strong without us, that man steady falling out of his position because he's trying to fight to be back at home. He's trying to be somewhere else. He's trying to find his way. And there's so many things as men that we're being attacked by. And I'm not making no excuse because don't none of that stop me. That's what makes me the man I am, because the more they tell me I can't, the more I am. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, but it has been a program set in front of us to destroy that man, and especially the black man, because they know what we're capable of when we fully functioning, when we got that peace in our life, when we got happiness at home. You know what I mean? Because when we got that at home, we could conquer empires. But us having that in us, they created a program where we're going to destroy we're going to separate you from the closest thing to you, and that's your woman. Because without y'all, we ain't able to elevate to our highest conscious level, because like God, the Most High gave us partners because both of us play a part. You know what I'm saying? That woman plays a major part just like that man do. You know what I mean? So no matter how much we think we could do without it, I could say, I don't need no woman. I don't need these chicks. I could say all that. And then when I get lonely, that reality check gonna tell me I wish she was right here next to me. So it goes back to being real with ourselves. You know what I mean? We got to embrace what we really deserve. You know what I'm saying? If you tell yourself you don't deserve something, that's what you're going to end up with, nothing. Or if you accept anything, you're going to end up with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So we can't.
A lot of shit that ain't worth
exactly.
shit.
Even a motherfucker that might not be built. You can't expect a man to run or be that man in your house when he really can't even be a man for himself. And I ain't making an excuse for all men. I'm just talking about certain people. And that's just like I can't expect no woman to be a queen of my household if she can't even take care of her own house or take care of her own. Can't even clean her car. Can't clean herself. You know what I mean? And not disrespecting no woman. I'm just talking about as far as the levels. So we got to know that it's different levels for different people. And we can't expect everybody to be on our level. So when you're that woman that's running that Fortune 500 company or something, you need a guy that's going to be a good thinker and know how to give you that peace as well. Or he might be that man that's going to distract you. You know what I mean? So even having a man at home sometime ain't always good if it's not that right man. Same way with the woman. You can have a woman at home, and if she ain't who you really need in your life, she gonna throw you off. So it gets back to us making better decisions, like Sis said.
So I know that we had discussed previously when we were talking about, this topic, in reference to how. And that's a part of our topic. Where did all the femininity go? Right. We are finding love in all the wrong places, in my opinion. I'm not saying that this is the opinion of everyone. I'm saying that this is in my opinion, and not putting anyone down or whatever the case may be, but we know that there is a world out there where women are choosing to love women. Men are choosing to love men because of what is going on with the separatism between women and men.
Well, that was like I say, go back to that program. Yeah. See, we don't realize that it's all a program. You know what I mean? A divide and conquer program.
And that goes all the way back to slavery.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, see, like we don't like to talk about it, but it truly do. Like the Willie Lynch theory, and we can look it up. Like his plan was, in order to control the slaves, you take the head of that household and you tear him down. You whooping him in front of his wives. You beating him in front of his kids. You know what I mean? They was literally tying up his balls and making him so helpless in front of this kid. They looking like, dang, my daddy can't do nothing. So when this man come down on me, what, he can't save me because he can't even save himself. You know what I mean? That was part of a program that started a long time ago. They was doing that to the point where it started making man feel lesser than himself. And then before you know it, they start stepping down from their position. You know what I mean? Even though it was certain ones like the Django's, you know what I mean? There was riders that they couldn't help it. But it's very few of us. You know what I mean? We're against our odds even amongst men. Because a lot of us men don't stand firm amongst each other no more. You know what I mean? And me, myself, as the man that I am, I done sat around some game playing men, and I done sat around some honorable men. And I learned that we really, like, we play a major part of how our women act as far as the reactions we getting because we taught them that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful what you teach people. And I'm talking about even playing games on, as we was playing our games on our women learned to play games back. You know what I mean? And now the shoe has flipped. So somewhere along that line, we got to get back on one accord because everybody wasn't out to hurt everybody. It was just some that played games, hurt the wrong one or the right one. And now we all out here like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yep, and you know, you're right. I know that we had also talked about, you know, women's lib, which I did a little research on women's lib. And, you know, just to understand in reference to women's liberation, just like it was that you were speaking to earlier, is that was basically, it was like a force thing. So we had to make a stance in order for us to be able to take care of our families. And that's honestly where women's lib came from, because of the situation that we were in, where we had to step up, take care of our families, being put in the workforce. Because I ain't gonna even lie, if I had the opportunity to sit at home, raise my kids, and not have to, you know, get out there in the workforce like that, that would have been something. Hey, my grandmother did it. We know our mom worked, but that would have been something that would have been ideal. But because of the way that society is now, that idea went out the window.
Well, yeah, it did.
It did. But on another note, though, like, they had us thinking that our women was just sitting around being housewives and all that, but they really wasn't. They was building empires too. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was great armies being led by women, and she still was that woman. You know what I mean? So that's the part they didn't want us to know about. That's just like Queen Khalifa. That was one of the greatest queens in America. She was a black native, and that's what California is named after. But her army was so powerful that they feared that she was going to conquer certain parts of Northern Africa and the Middle East and all that. And this was a woman. You know, she sat amongst greatness, and they taught her how to run that kingdom, and she did that. You know what I mean? So, like, they wanted our women to think that they were just supposed to sit down and be at home, when really, yeah, that's true to a certain extent. But when you building an empire, that woman got to be involved just as well as that man involved, because she got to be able to help me. She got to be able to help me make the right decisions. You know what I mean? You know, her just being at home, that dude plays a major part, though, because that's a part where the kids are being raised correctly. You know where your baby's at. You know what I mean? You know what your baby's being taught. All that play a part, too. So,
and it's not, you know, it's not easy maintaining a household, maintaining a job. You know what I'm saying? If you are husband, you have a husband, you trying to make sure your husband is good. That is a lot of work. But at the same, I know you know. But at the same token, we know what we step into as well. Right. So when you step into those roles, you should already know what comes with it. A lot of times, like I said, I did when I was younger. I didn't step into it knowing. I jumped out there. So when I jumped out there, that's when I learned. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that just makes you go through life a little more harder. If you kind of really get to know the things or the person, then it makes it a little more easier. And you won't feel like, as a woman, I have to play both roles, because then our decisions become better. Right. We have more choices. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that's how a lot of us got off a track with becoming hard, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of relate that back to like what it was that we were speaking on is the views that were actually talked about with Woman King. I don't know. Have you all seen Woman King?
No,
And that's
I
something
haven't.
that kind of relates back to what it is that we're talking about. You know, where has the feminine side gone with some of, you know, our women? Because with that, and yes, they were great warriors. They were great warriors, great warriors. However, with them being that great warrior, they also could not engage with men.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
it was a
Not engage
sacrifice.
with men.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, it was a lot of controversy around that movie. And I mean, I enjoyed it. It was an excellent movie. I got a different meaning out of it, but there was a lot of controversy around that movie
I'm gonna have to
because
watch
of
it.
what it was representing. You know, these were great warriors and they were women. She led a great a great army. They were women. And I mean, when I say they were slaying men, they slayed men. They slayed men to protect their country, their tribe.
So let me
which
ask you.
was-
Go ahead. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and
Just
finish.
gonna say which was, you know, led they had a king, but they were the women were the leaders in this army.
So basically, you know, I feel like I think Rock kind of touched on this earlier. You know, as a queen, you do have to still know how to run and operate every position because as a helpmate, that's what you are designed for. Now, you know, you have to start choosing your battles of when this is becoming too masculine for me. Now my king should take over, or you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like we as women, we feel like because we were programmed to think like we don't need a man, a lot of us feel like we don't. Because I hear a lot of women say, who can please a woman better than a woman? Not a woman to me. Yeah, she may know, you know, we are, women are designed the same, but we are still unique and different.
And somewhere along that pleasing, they always tend to bring out that toy though.
Yeah, but
because
yeah.
and what does that toy symbolize?
Plastic.
I'm just saying it's plastic, but it still plays a part. It's penetrating like as if it was a man.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So I mean, it just goes back to like.
And listen, I'm not bashing anybody because what your preference is your preference. But the reality of it is that people have this confused. Very confused. We are making wrong right, and we are making right wrong. We making things that we know to be wrong right, as if this is how it was planned. But you know, we have to start educating ourselves as well. Go back to them Solomon and Gomorrah days. These are the days we are in right now. Women and men are becoming lovers of themselves, and you know, everything is just out of the norm. You know, and people get mad because you may touch on the subject, but you know, hey, I was designed to be the one to get mad at me. But don't get mad at the messenger. Just hear the message. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many times people put it on the TV, on the radio, wrong is wrong and right is right. And it ain't never needed no support. So, women, we got to get back to being women. Like, we
have to make sure that, you know, women's design is that nurturing is to protect their children. And right now, with everything that's going on and the way that things are transitioning in the world, we're not doing a good job of that because our kids are being exposed to everything.
Everything.
And they can't even make a decision rightfully because of what it is that they're being exposed. And as I stated, I'll say this again, this is my opinion and not the opinion of everyone, but basically is, you know, it's how I feel. And I my heart just go out to a lot of these children, these kids, these young adults that are growing up now.
Well, we don't realize what our decisions we making because we think we got the right to. is how it's affecting our children. You know what I mean? They at school dealing with these same rights. We telling them they got the right to think a certain way, true indeed. But we have to be careful. We have to help them. We have to mold their mind to think and know what they asking for and know what they want. You know what I mean? And know they self. It goes back to knowing ourselves, know what's good for you. And, you know, really, like, when it comes down to a man needing a woman or a woman needing a man, look at how great it is when they do come together. See, I don't care who say they don't need it. When you see that couple that's a power couple, everybody envy it. As far as wanting it. Not hating it, but wanting it. You know what I mean? Because even if you get a woman get another woman, she still want to be happy. So when you see a power couple happy and they making power moves, for example, Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I mean? And when I say them, I'm saying like the level they have reached. That mean that somewhere along their journey, I don't care what people say about them, they had to keep each other head level in order to keep rising. You know what I mean? Because that's who you land around the most. That's who you sit like. That's who you at home with the most. That's who you spending your time with, no matter how much they traveling. Whether they on the phone all the time, they spending a lot of time with each other. So they got to keep each other on point because somewhere along the line that plane would have been crashed. You know what I mean? So when you got that great person right next to you that's pushing you to your greatness and you pushing them to their greatness, you can't go wrong.
Exactly.
So, Christy, give out our listeners the number again where they can call in and get in on this topic. We want to hear your views in reference to what you think about where is the feminine women? Where are our men even? You know, where did we get lost? Or where did all of this start from? Where did it all happen?
Well, to get in on this conversation, call 515-599-1687. We would love to hear your opinion. Talk to us. We'll talk back. Call in. Call in. 515-599-1687. If you don't want to say your name, you don't have to. Don't nobody know your voice. Talk to us, though. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know you're really here. Hey, are you feminine or you not? Are you hip hop or you not, baby? Come on, talk to Miss Kiwi. She want to talk
bad. Are you masculine or are you not?
Hey. But listen, real talk though, for real. And this y'all gonna laugh. But listen, a guy told me, he was like, you would have swore you was a nigga in your past life, you know? And at first I ain't know how to take that because I'm just like, for real. And he was just like, yeah, because for real, like when you get mad, it's like you a straight nigga. And I was like, you know what? It's just the point that it's not that I'm too hard. It's just you too soft. I said, because the thing about it is that a real man don't have to question if a woman is too hard or not. Because I know my position. Maybe you need to learn yours. So he got mad and he was just like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's that nigga shit. I said, at the end of the day, I'm finna stop talking to you because that nigga about to come out. And he started laughing, talking about, you know what? No, you're not playing. You just expressed yourself. And I respect you for expressing yourself. But at the end of the day, I ain't never too hard. I'm very soft. But yeah, when you make me mad, and that's with anybody. It could be a male or a female. If you make them mad, then yeah, they might step out of character.
So why is it that, you know, certain men can't get in tune with their feminine side?
Because society have made them feel like if a man cry or show emotions, he weak. But the thing of it is God wouldn't have never gave you them feelings. God would not have gave you them emotions. God would not even put tears in your eyes because it would have been a waste of time. So my thing of it is that, for one, if a woman was to come off and tell a man that, maybe that man should have stepped back and kind of looked at her.
She might not be that woman for him.
You feel what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is one of those things. No matter what, we bounce off of each other. That man and that woman balance each other. That's why it's man and woman, because man can teach woman just like woman can teach man. The name is even inside of woman if you break it down. You feel me? Man or men. WOMAN or WOMEN. So just think about that. God don't make mistakes. And when he made it, he made man and made woman from his will. So we just have to understand that society have misled us and made women feel like we have to be so strong and carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. No.
We got to realize God gave women something very special, and he gave man something very special. And the power of that is when we push each other to tap into that and realize what we worth, you know what I mean, as far as what we got in ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, we so caught up in what everybody else saying it should be that we don't even know what it really is with ourselves. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't know who we is, you know what I mean? Because if you really knew who you was, you would embrace exactly what's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Because he made you to perfection. He doesn't make a mistake. You know what I mean? A big girl, small girl, it's somebody for everybody. Just like a big boy, fat boy, you be wondering how that fat boy get that beautiful woman. She was for him. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, but however he got him, he got her. You know what I mean? And what's for you is for you. But you got to love yourself first. And that's the problem. A lot of us really ain't loving ourselves enough. So as a man, a lot of men have lost their way. I see it just from talking to a lot of men. You know what I mean? And the same way women feel towards a lot of these guys feel the same way. So we got to realize we all hurt. You know what I mean? We all been torn apart somewhere along this journey because karma is real. Same way that nigga played the game on you, it came back on him. Trust me. Because every time we thought we was getting one off, we end up losing someone we probably really cared about. And then that lesson was more valuable because she don't come back so easy. You know what I mean? And that hurts too because that reality is I played myself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's a man or a woman, when you cross good people, you got to learn how to embrace them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to get back to, embracing good people because it's very few of them. You know?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, you know what? And that's really true. We got a caller?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
We had a call. Okay. You know, but that's really true. And I know a lot of times, a lot of things as far as to the decisions that a lot of people make when it comes to our, you know, the females being as hard as it that they may be is because of what it is that they may have grew up in, you know, as a child. The same way with that male, you know, what it is that they may have grew up in as a child that has brought them to where they're at this point. Maybe something happened to them even along that way that have brought them to this point, you know. So how do you, I guess you would say, how do you address that? Because at that point, that's like trauma. That's something where trauma has caused that woman to be that hardcore, you know, hey, in your face type of nigga.
Well, for one, we just did a segment on mental health. And if you missed it, see, a lot of us don't believe in going to talk to anyone or, you know, whether it's a psychiatrist, whether, you know, a lot of us don't believe in going to talk to nobody unless you family or a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Because our phone be ringing off the hook right now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody talk a lot, but they don't want to call
exactly.
it talk.
So you find yourself like, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought.
You don't have nobody to talk to?
Yeah, like you, I mean.
So you're dealing with it on your own and you making those decisions as best you know?
But I mean, that ain't always good though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say a lot of us don't. You have to kind of step outside of, and sometimes you would find talking to a total stranger as opposed to someone that actually knows anything about you a little better because they can't be quick to pass judgment.
Right.
They have to really hear about you in order to know that, you know, anything, you know. So I mean, sometimes we got to step outside that comfort zone. And like I said, I've been there, so I can speak on feminine or not. I've always been feminine, but like I said, some people say I'm hard. I'm really not, but hey, if that's what you feel, okay, I respect that. It's just the thing about a lot of stuff I don't tolerate because I have once before and I'm not going to tolerate it anymore.
Right.
And that's just that on that. So I don't play about it. So, if that makes me hard, then hey, I am her. You feel me? But at the end of the day, until you get to know me,
I was just gonna say that.
I can hear all day long. And it don't really bother me like it used to. Because I used to flirt. But now I'm not flirting anymore, baby. I'm not finna let you put no wrinkles on this face, baby. Only Isabella and Milani.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, don't get to talking about them.
Yeah, but you know what?
But, we just have to make sure that we are, as I stated at the beginning, we're not expressing the opinions of everyone or the feelings of everyone or whatever the case may be. But as we have also stated, when you take that look at yourself, then that's when it is that you can start questioning what it is that's truly going on, or why it is that you're truly going through what it is that you feel, or what it is that you may be doing, or whatever the case may be. Hey, I love all people, and I don't pass judgment on nobody because I don't have the right to, first and foremost. Hey, I can't save your soul. All I can do is preach to you as far as what it is that I feel is going to save my soul. But I can't save your soul. You have to be that one to save your soul. So, hey, do what it is that you do. I don't have nothing to, do with that. But we do need to start building each other up more. And also, ladies, as far as what we were talking about with knowing your role or knowing your place or whatever, we're in a world where we out there in the workforce. Hey, a lot of us are bosses. I feel that I'm a boss myself. But one thing's for sure is that I'm going to support my man in what it is that he's doing. We have our arguments. We go through whatever the case, whatever it is. But the bottom line is, I know my part, and I'm not trying to take his role away from him.
Exactly.
Somebody asked me, when did there become roles between men and women?
Well, that's a good question, but at the same time, it always been roles.
Yeah.
It's just about how you look at it, because everything plays everybody got to play a position. You know what I'm saying? That's just like even in the house. If kids playing and they get to messing up, somebody got to pick it up, and you got to pick it up. And, we start as kids learning our certain roles, you know what I mean? Like, okay, one of y'all washing the dishes, one of y'all cleaning the bathroom, you know what I mean? And all that comes together playing a role of keeping the house clean. And even as man and woman, you know what I mean? In order for us to survive, you got to play your position to the fullest, and I play my position to the fullest, the best we can. Ain't nobody perfect, but a lot of people get it twisted when we grow with people. We expect them to know us. You gotta teach people how you want to be loved. You gotta teach people the things you really like and don't like. You can't expect them to know that just because the last person might have knew it, or you taught him them moves and you ain't teach him them moves. And because if you really want it like that, you're going to make it clear on how you want it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm at, like, how I want it, I got to make it clear if I really want it like that. You know what I'm saying? Or I can let somebody just give it to me however they want to. So me making it clear is almost me letting them know the role that I expect, just as well as you letting me know what you expect in me, because how can I play a certain role if I don't even know what you want or what you expect in your man,
And the thing about it, to piggyback off of that, we really won't really know what each other want or don't want or like or dislike, because for one, we have allowed these phones to become our feelings, to dictate our emotions. You got to get back to conversation, that face to face, that 101, because I don't care how many emojis, I don't care how many slam it down in the text messages you do. It ain't nothing like sitting in front of that man, especially if he fine, baby, and talking to him and just seeing his body language and seeing his facial expressions for what I'm saying to him, whether it's sweet nothings or whether it's something.
Yeah, me.
You dig? But
me
at the
tell you.
end of the day, it's just one of them things, the interaction
Yeah.
of two people. Not a phone, not a robot, not a toy. And I ain't knocking that because I done tried it. I got a whole lot of them in my damn closet, but they didn't work for me. And I'm just saying for me. But I'm just saying, it ain't nothing like that man feel, like them musculars. And I'm just saying, like,
okay, so I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in here.
okay, girl, come out.
So how do you know that that's not what a woman can make a woman feel like, or that's not what a man can make a man feel like?
I don't know. So here's my thing. I only talk about what I know. And that means, like I said, rubbing on them musculars because I don't know nothing about that. And I'm going to put this out there because, like I said, I ain't never trying to portray to be so perfect or none of that. And anything I done in my life, I'm not ashamed of what I did. I tried it because I had a curiosity. It didn't work for me. So that's all I'm saying. Life is a learning experience. But for those who don't know, I have had a threesome before.
Well, we don't want to know.
I'm just saying, because the reason
We just talk about man and woman.
But here's my thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, I'm not sitting here bashing what people choose to do.
It's your choice.
All I'm
no
saying is
what
in
makes you
life,
happy.
exactly. All I'm saying in life is God designed man and he designed woman.
And he don't fail.
And he don't fail. So what your preference is your preference. But at the end of the day, like I said, don't knock the messenger.
Yes, ma'am.
Just listen to the message. And I'm not saying that we sitting here like we just know all. Because we always ask y'all to call in. 515.
Talk with us.
599-1687. We still got a few minutes. Call in. Let us know what's on your mind. Because you know what? Like I said, baby, I am here at 50 years old. And, baby, God has been good to me. And I'm going to thank him. I don't care where I'm at. In the club, at church, in my house, on Why Not Say It. You better know it. Hey, it is what it is, baby. Hey.
Well,
We just got to get back to
I
it.
just wanted to put that out there because that's one thing that, you know, we don't want is our audience to feel that we're bashing.
No, we never that. Never that.
But it's all about opinion and how it is that someone may, you know, what. Okay, we got a caller.
We got a caller. Let's see what. Hello.
Hey, what's up? I was calling in.
All right, now, how you doing this evening?
I'm blessed.
That's
How are
what's
you?
up. I'm good. I cannot complain. What's on your mind? Talk to us.
Well, I just wanted to, first of all, I want to send a shout out to my boy Fast 747. What's up with it?
What up, Papa Sign?
And I've actually been a guest on the show before, and I want to say again that I really love what y'all doing and topics. Y'all are really choosing some very controversial and needed topics for today. But I believe the conversation is about what happened to the masculine man, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No,
Hey,
no.
that's
Well, I
it,
mean
too.
that too, but it's actually what happened to the feminine women.
The feminine women. Well, and those two, if you think about it, they go hand in
They
hand.
sure do.
Man.
Absolutely. And what happened is we have an evolution of the the changing of the roles. See, it was systematically created that all of the black men be taken out of the household, whether they were sent to Vietnam, whether they were put in the penitentiary, or things of that nature. So society has put women in positions to where they have to be masculine. The only problem with that is, and this is no disrespect to our black women, or any woman for that matter, but a woman can only be a woman. She cannot raise a man. A woman can only be a woman. At the end of the day, yes, she can raise a young man, right? But her tendencies, her characteristics, her
Come on
mannerisms that she displays in front of that child, that boy, he's going to pick up on that.
Exactly.
Right? And he's not going to have a man in the household to pick up on these mannerisms,
Exactly.
these characteristics of what a man is supposed to do. And all he's going to see is his mother playing these roles.
Exactly.
Right? And at the end of the day, a woman is going to be a woman. She can't be a man.
Mm-mm.
She can do the things that men do as provide for her family, go out and get these titles and get these degrees and get these jobs and get this money to provide for her family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, she's not going to be a man. So she's
Exactly.
taking on a masculine spiritual energy, even though she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we got all these young boys that are watching their mothers take on these roles, and now they're acting like women in society.
Answered my
So
question.
instead of men taking care of women, it's women going out here getting these accolades, these degrees, these certificates, these careers, and then look at the black man, dependent upon the black woman to take care of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you feel
So that's
about? I was just going to ask. Is he
Go ahead.
finished?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask
So
you. So how do
that's
you
why
feel
we're
about
seeing
those households?
so many
He's
black women acting masculine is because they have to.
Right.
Those
Now,
same women that are acting masculine, they got 3 kids at home. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Hassan, Miss Meek want to ask you a question. What's your question, Miss Meek?
So what do you think about those households where it's 2 men or it's 2 women in them raising a man or a woman? I mean, a young man or a young woman.
Well, let me. Well, first of all, before I answer that question, I just want to say this, right? My opinion and my spiritual belief differ, and what I mean when I say that is because the commandments command me to love thy neighbor as I love thyself. Right? It doesn't say you can't love your gay neighbor,
Exactly.
you can't love your lesbian neighbor, your
Exactly.
LGBTQ. It just simply says
Your
love
neighbor.
thy neighbor,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So my personal opinion is that's not a natural relationship. Men with men and women with men. That's not what God designed, right? So how can 2 men bring feminine and masculine energy into a relationship and raise a child? How can they do that? Because a man is going to always be a man. I don't care how feminine or gay he is. And a woman is going to always be a woman. I don't care how masculine she tries to portray herself to be. Right?
That's true. That's true. So did he answer your question?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was just wondering, with him being one of our callers, what his opinion was in reference to that, because these are things that we faced with, and like he stated at the beginning, these are subjects that people don't like to talk to, but it's real. When you talk about being
because everybody
real,
gets offended. People want to get offended. People, and they're not listening to understand. They're only listening to respond.
Exactly.
Right?
Because people cater more to drama than they do the real. People entertain drama and want to, be drama. They entertain it. Like that's what they don't want to see anything positive. They cater to the drama.
Beautifully said. So I'm glad. And again, this is a part of the system that is destroying the black family. And let me just reiterate on what you said, because if you look in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, all of the TV shows that were out portrayed family. The Cosby shows, A Different Stroke, Family Matters, things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But today, all you see is reality TV, trash TV, toxicity, fighting, women, bad girls, bad boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where are the family shows?
It's no more.
Where are the family shows that show the man as the head of the household and the woman and the children?
It's no more.
It's no more. Why is it no more? Who's in control of that?
Now go back to that programming I was talking about. See, the programs have changed because the program that they used have worked. And now they realize, like, in order to keep it going, we got to keep the program. We got to give them the program that was part of the plan in the jump. You know what I mean? To get the man out the household. You know what I'm saying? So now even when you watch a TV, he ain't in the building for real. He's not. And even the man that's in the building ain't even, he ain't running nothing. He ain't 10 toes down. It's obvious. The woman be more stronger. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but the woman be more stronger in the households on TV. Yeah. And that's how they want us to see it.
Think of it like this. In the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, black people were just coming out of slavery. The United States was going through the Great Depression. And then the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, you see the rise of the black family, right? That's when we were obtaining all these houses and all this property and all these businesses, right? We were becoming a force. So how do you destroy that force? You remove the man from the household. That's what the military draft did. That's what high incarceration with mandatory minimums did. All those things pulled the black man out of the household and forced the black woman to play the role of both. And take the power from the black man.
Yep.
Well,
you know what? Me, myself, personally, I give all the utmost respect to our black men. And I want our black men to step up, take back what it is that's rightfully yours, so that we as women, you know, yes, we want to support, we want to be there 100% to back you guys. We want to be that boss woman for you guys too. We just, hey, everybody take your position. Take your position.
But you know what? You're absolutely 100% right. But what that's going to require is strong men.
Exactly.
And there lies the conundrum. Because how do we get our men strong again?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Especially
because all heterosexual women want a strong man.
Yes, we do.
Period. That's just the natural balance of things.
I just think, and this is just my opinion and a suggestion, I feel that the women need to just get back to really doing what God called them to do, being nurturers, being loving, being kind, you know. And I'm not saying settling or taking anything that you know that's not, that's going to benefit you or help you get to where you need to go. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, you know, when we say be submissive, we're not saying that, being
a slave.
Exactly. You know, because I don't feel like walking behind you is what I have to do. I feel I have to walk on the side of you, because that means that, you know, we walking side by side, we gonna catch it all, you know, because we working hand in hand. And if I'm walking behind you, I can't have your hand. You feel what I'm saying?
And just look at it like this too. If you walking behind me, and I'm supposed to be protecting you,
that's
and
right.
I'm looking back at you to make sure you okay.
Exactly. Somebody
I can't see what's in front of us.
Exactly.
You feel? Exactly. But if you right next to me,
you know what?
I can shield.
I guarantee you this, because women are highly intuitive creatures, right? If a man is truly masculine, taking care of his business and doing the things that he's supposed to do in society, a woman is going to naturally to that man. You're not going to have to ask her. You're not going, because it's the natural balance of things.
Exactly.
Because she's so intuitive, she's going to know she has a strong man.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
She's going to naturally be submissive to that man.
Well, you know, guys, we always come to this part of the segment.
If she senses any weakness in this man,
Oh yeah,
How's
she gonna run
be,
over.
How can you even expect her to be submissive to this
She's
man?
not. She's
how you
not.
gonna expect a strong black woman to be submissive to a weak black man?
It ain't gonna happen because I'm gonna tell you. As soon as he raises his voice, she gonna tell him, "Man, you better lower your."
Hey, and that's why I say it's time for men to step back up as men. That don't mean that women step down. That just mean that in order for them to appreciate that man, we got to be stronger men. A lot of men have went weak. You know what I mean? A lot of men have given up. I know that, yeah, it was a plan and everything, but now it's time to bounce back because there's so much in us. It's way bigger than what somebody else say we are. We're naturally that. You know what I mean? We naturally move mountains when we tapped in right. So it's to that point now, whether she's next to you or not, it's time for us to step back up as men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the women are on their job. They own their job. Whether no matter how the plan worked out, they on their job. But how could you expect, like you said, how a strong queen gonna appreciate a joker? Exactly. You jumping around like the local joker, and she on top of her business. Exactly. It don't even sit right. Exactly. You know.
But you know what? We appreciate you calling in.
And please call in again.
Exactly. But you know, we come to this time where we have to go. We have yeah, we are out of time. But we thank everybody for tuning in, calling in, and to the next time, you know, we always try to keep a good topic going. But we want y'all to start interacting and calling in more. Thank you once again to our caller. You have a blessed evening and enjoy your evening. Thank you to all the ones that tuned in. Any last remarks before we go, Miss Ming?
I just want to say we love everybody.
All right now.
You know, we may have stepped on some toes with talking about this topic, but believe me, it's much love. Everybody has their own opinion, and everybody should be able to express their opinion. Exactly. But it's no disrespect to anyone, not anyone, but as women, let's take our place. Men, take you all's place. Love one another.
Till next Friday, same time. If you have a topic you want to talk about, get at us. Let us know what's on your mind. We out of here. Fast lane.
Take us away.
Oh, we had a caller. But call us next Friday on the topic. Love y'all.
Peace. Yeah. Why not say it?
Hey, thank y'all.
What I wanna see you for.